Dwellers, and welcome back to Top Shelf Disney Animation Studios Library. I don't have an intro. Over there's TC. I'm Jeff. Welcome
Hi.
back to the show, everybody. Hi, TC.
Good to be back, Jeff. I'm good to be back. The listeners, thank you for coming back. This is wonderful.
This is wonderful.
Is this our second movie of the year 2000?
This is
Or
the
our
first one
movie
of 3 for the year 2000.
the year 2000.
Remember when 2000 seemed like so far away and it was such a magical time?
I was thinking about it as I put the post up for people who go to the Facebook.com/TopShelfPod, the earliest plug we've ever had for
Oh
the
man,
Facebook
wow,
page.
we're a minute and a half in, guys.
I was thinking about the year 2000 was when like everything came out and either had 2000 at the end of it
Yep.
or they put an X in it unnecessarily. So it was like Dracula 2000, the X Games.
Because that just meant that it was like hip and cool and modern in the future
Yeah.
because it was all 2000.
2000. Yeah.
And do you think, I mean, okay, so I'm going to ask that question right off the bat. By the way, we watched Fantasia 2000, for those of you wondering.
Yes. For those of you who wonder, we and somehow clicked on this without reading what the title is. We have watched the Disney Fantasia 2000, the 37th. Is that right?
38.
38th movie in the Disney Animation Studios library.
Indeed. And for those of you wondering, this is our second kind of sequel. Like we've had a sequel, which was Rescuers Down Under from the Rescuers. That was our first official and I think only sequel on this list.
Right. If you want to consider Saludos Amigos and Three Caballeros as a one as a sequel to another, although there's no narrative structure behind those two movies, so then it's not exactly a narrative sequel. It's more of a thematic or stylistic sequel.
So,
and that's what we have here with.
Right, exactly. This is very much so like a thematic sequel. Now I do know, and I was trying to think of how much stuff we went over because we watched Fantasia. Fantasia was, I believe, our third movie we watched on the list because wasn't it Snow White and Bambi Snow White and Pinocchio, then Fantasia? Yep.
That's right.
So that was way back in episode 3, released 1940. So there was a 60-year gap between the original Fantasia and Fantasia 2000. And
Which not the intention of Walt and the gang when they came up with the idea of Fantasia.
Exactly.
It's I think it's pretty common knowledge, but those who may not know, the original intention of Fantasia was that it would be a touring property that they would continually add things to and remove things from, so that it would just be this experience that would come around ever so often with new additional pieces to it, and it was supposed to be this evolving idea of music brought to life through visuals. Bette Midler's section, she actually mentions that very fact, that in this movie, in Fantasia 2000, that was the original intention of it.
Now, why do you think it took them so long to get back around to it? I mean, that was kind of that was one of my main questions regarding this film, and I wanted to know your opinion on it because it was 60 years, and I mean, obviously, that was the last one of these that they've done. It's now, at the time of this recording, it's been almost 18 years because they released Fantasia on January 1st, 2000. That was the IMAX release. So it's been almost 18 years because we're recording this on the 18th of December. Little insight for those of you who are wondering a little peek behind the curtains, if you will.
You've dated it.
I've dated it so much.
You didn't say what year.
Aha,
Wait, no,
2006.
you did
So this is from.
Why
the
did it
past.
take them so long to get to another one of these? I don't think that Fantasia itself. It wasn't a success when it initially had come out, so it wasn't a surprise that they canceled what would be the rotating Fantasia film series that they were going to release. And I don't feel like there was a demand for this style of filmmaking and so much so that this Fantasia 2000 is quite a bit different from the original Fantasia.
Right.
Though they are similar in that they're packaged together. I said
Oh
package.
no, TC, is this one of our first package films in a long time?
In a sense, yes, it is, I suppose, but it's not like the original Fantasia. It's got more bits to it. You have the celebrities cracking jokes to be more entertaining to the masses and less abstract and less experimental, which is what the original Fantasia was. This one's much safer. This one, it's more accessible by a
Right.
long shot. I mean, there's half as many entries
Right.
into this.
I was
as
going
well.
to just say that. I mean, the first movie was, I looked it up, and the first one was almost, I think, close to 2.5 hours, maybe just 2 hours long. This one was an hour
this one
14.
is-
It was done. It was in and out and moving on. And even with the, what did I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 celebrity cameos in this film, which lasted for probably about 3 or 4 minutes a piece. Like that was almost half the that was almost half the length of the film was just these segues in between each of these pieces. It was very short, very fast, very to the point. It felt a little more like, oh, this is what people know Disney is, so we need to have this, like having the inclusion of Donald Duck in one of the pieces, having kind of that comedic bit, which by the way, the comedic bit when Mickey's looking for Donald, when the conductor's talking. So I have my surround sound set up, and in surround sound, that piece is brilliant because Mickey runs behind you in the surround sound.
Oh wow, that's great.
And when he opens the door, and I think what was it? He I think it's Daisy that screams, or it's Minnie that screams.
you hear like ah! Yeah, you hear a scream.
Yep, that's coming from the back right speaker. It's
wow.
fantastic in surround sound.
Yeah, you know what? I usually ask you this, and I didn't. Had you seen this before? I don't think you had.
I think I rented it on VHS tape. Like I don't know, 2003, 2004. I don't remember a thing. I honestly, everything that was in this, I've seen these pieces. Now I know that this is where it's from. I've seen them. Like I've seen Rhapsody in Blue on YouTube. I've watched that almost that entire piece on YouTube. But watching that, I would have been like, I didn't know that was a Disney thing, or that it was a short, or I just assumed maybe it was a short they did before something, or along those lines. I don't remember ever having seen this.
Yeah, I do remember seeing this. I didn't get to see it in the IMAX, but I do remember seeing this in theaters. It was the year I started working at a movie theater. Actually, I started at the end of '99, and I can remember having Fantasia 2000, enjoying it at the time, but not really carrying it with me, which we'll discuss as we break it apart and our reactions to it a little bit further. To go back to what I was saying before, this feels very different from the original Fantasia. The original Fantasia has this, it's that experimental maturity to it. It's trying to be accessible to the general masses, but there's something more special about that original Fantasia in comparison to this. I know we shouldn't spend this whole time comparing one versus the other. We save that for all 10 films and then we rank them.
Right. But I do think it's important to compare it because I mean it is much like we discussed the two Rescuers films. I think it is important to look at the film that kind of was the predecessor to the one that we're watching right now because it's important to see how it's changed, how they've grown as filmmakers or what they did differently or how the technology changed and what they maybe did wrong or what didn't work this time around. And that's key. And I'm not gonna lie, I took a lot of that into account for when I was ranking this one on our list and just kind of little things like that just like no, why did they do this and was this successful and should they do it again or shouldn't they do it again or
it felt more like the package films like Melody Time and Make Mine Music and Fun and Fancy Free. It felt more like those because those movies were like Fantasia light because they were more of the short animation departments and less of the feature animation department for those three package films.
Yay!
It not exactly like those, but more like those than the original Fantasia. And you saying, should they do it again? They planned on it. They had Fantasia 2006 on the schedule. That ended up getting canned, and all the shorts they were creating for that they've intermittently released over the years since. But interestingly enough, that we actually have a Katzenberg moment for this film.
Yay!
Are you aware of this one? I don't know if you're aware of this one.
I think I read something online. I could be
Okay.
wrong, but go ahead and tell us.
So, maybe this says a lot about how it was received. It goes back to the kind of the smart, the brilliance of Jeffrey Katzenberg's cutthroat Hollywood filmmaking decision making. He did not want to make this movie. Like, he was absolutely against another Fantasia, not on his watch. So much so that this movie was in development for 9 years until up to its. So while he was still there, they started developing this behind his back. There were people in the animation department, particularly one old guard. There was one old guard who actually worked on the original Fantasia, who was involved in the initial inception of this idea. That a group of animators who loved the history of Disney secretly started developing this while Katzenberg was still in charge. So.
That's always good when you can go behind the back of the head of the company and be like, "We're making a movie. No one knows. Shh.
Don't tell it. Don't tell Jeff Katz. Don't tell Jeff Katz." But then that leaves the question of, I guess, there's a question that we can ask later in the podcast as well. But was Katzenberg right to say not to make this, or were the animators right in trying to recapture this out of the era style of animated Disney movie, right?
You're right. And see,
certainly does not fit in the Renaissance, and it certainly doesn't fit in the new Dark Ages that we're moving into.
Right. And
it's anomaly.
And that's right where it sits, because it's definitely not a movie. Like, when you look at the movies surrounding it, even though we are entering, like you said, that dark era, that second dark era of the Simpsons. No, guys.
Well, I mean, as of recording, Disney does now own the Simpsons.
That is true.
So you're not wrong to have that slip.
Oh, not at all. Oh, slip of a tongue. Couldn't help myself. Slip of a $52 billion deal. No, like, it's not. It doesn't feel like any of those other movies surrounding it, and I could see it being maybe something that Disney would have considered right at the start of its new era, like our second Renaissance. But all the success of this new type of Disney movie, why would you ever go back to an old school way, like an old school film? So I guess I can't believe I'm saying this. I guess I'm kind of siding with Katzenberg on this. I cannot believe that.
But I know I have an axe to grind against the guy as well, but we have given him credit before for some of his. Did you just puke in your mouth?
A little bit. I just need to take.
It's
okay.
Interestingly enough, that there was now we to kind of harp on Katzenberg a little bit more. He was this very Hollywood executive. He made decisions that anyone who's listened to the cast, we've kind of given this brief history in Disney media through the eyes of what Jeffrey Katzenberg did. This Fantasia 2000 was the first feature-length animated film to be presented in IMAX that had never been done before. And I don't know about you, Jeff, but I remember going on field trips to IMAX movies.
Oh, yeah.
And IMAX movies when I was a kid were documentaries.
Yep.
They were not.
Yep.
They weren't fun, cool narrative movies. They were just boring school field trips to the Field Museum in Milwaukee.
TC, I am not going to lie. Up until about 2 years ago, I still thought that's what they were. Like, I had never seen an actual movie on an IMAX screen until a few years back. And when I finally did that, I went, oh, yeah, these aren't just those stupid documentary movies. Like, Flying Over Canada, you can see, boring, just make you fall asleep things. Yeah.
What I think is lost on people, especially because you're bombarded with 3D options, and then there's the IMAX option. It's like, I just want to see the movie, okay? IMAX for narrative films is relatively a brand new idea. And thinking of that fact that Fantasia 2000 was the first animated IMAX movie, and now consider some of the animated movies that have come out in IMAX, but then also consider Avatar and some of the bigger tentpole films that have come out since. I mean, Disney releases IMAX films all the time.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter movies, right? The Dark Knight was filmed with IMAX cameras. But this, Fantasia 2000, was the first animated film to be presented in IMAX. And even to let that happen, IMAX had to agree to Disney's conditions, right, to gain this as a first, and some of those included a limited engagement of 4 months. So the IMAX screen in all IMAX theaters for 4 months was Fantasia 2000.
Jeez.
Now nowadays, you're lucky if you get 2 weeks.
Yeah, you have a very limited window for that movie to be in the theater, and then it's just or on an IMAX, and it's gone.
Because then there's another IMAX movie coming down the pipe.
Yep.
So now here's this is that like cutthroat Hollywood there. 50% of the box office went to Disney on IMAX. Now, I don't know if anyone's aware how the movie system works, but for a little insider baseball, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
You ever wonder why popcorn and soda cost so much? It's because movie theater chains get nothing from the tickets. Now, I don't mean nothing like they get 0%, but you're looking at like 5%, 15%.
A movie theater is the equivalent of working in a restaurant. Like I feel like the pay that a waiter or a waitress will get working in most restaurants is the same as what a theater gets from showing a movie, which is like nothing. It gets its pay by the tips.
So the fact that Disney got 50% of the box office returns, whether that was IMAX or just regular release, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is like that is massive. And actually, to go off of that, the reason we need that studios need us to love those tentpole films and come back and see them again and again and again, the theaters need that to happen because the longer a movie stays in theaters, the higher percentage they get. So when a huge movie comes out and is gone in 3 weeks, that is a failure for the studio, but it's even a bigger failure for movie theater chains. And that's why the prices on concessions keep going up. That's why they keep offering, now you can get alcohol and dinner. Like they keep having to figure out ways to get people to come to the movie theaters and buy the movie theater stuff.
It's like, please buy our things. Please, we want you to buy our things.
So just that's that 50% box office return. I know that's not really about the movie. It's more about filmmaking in general. But that is a really crazy fact, and that is the power of Disney in the year 2000, right?
Right. Well, and I mean, and the fact that that Disney got 50% of the box office is still insane. This film cost close to $90 million to make, and it only brought in about 95 worldwide.
Yeah.
So it's a failure, if you will, guys. It's not a successful
They
film.
followed in the tradition of Fantasia by being a box office dud.
Yep, being a thing that nobody actually wanted to see. Which I wonder. So like you saying like, oh, it was planned to be another one in 2006. I kind of wonder with just the failure of this film and then probably the subsequent failures I'll say those are failures. I know we haven't really gotten to many of these next handful of Dark Age films that we've got coming up, but I'm sure the combination of the next handful of movies probably also didn't help Disney to go, no, we are not taking a chance on another movie that's literally just music. We're not doing that. We need to keep making stories because people are not going to come and see it otherwise.
We have to figure out a way to sell the toys, people.
And
how do the kids buy a toy to a flying whale?
A flying CG whale, if you will.
CG whale. Actually, let's do that. Let's get into the actual segments of this. So there's only 8 segments in this whole movie, which is I should have done a count of what the original Fantasia is, and there's someone right now who's like, it was 12 or whatever. I don't know.
In that voice too.
But actually. How did you watch this? Did you stream it or do you? I have the Blu-ray. I don't know how you watched it.
I streamed it because it's currently streaming on Netflix right now.
Okay, two things. I have the Blu-ray. The audio commentary track is Roy Disney and Mickey Mouse.
Oh, really?
So for anyone out there who might have the DVD release or the Blu-ray release that they there's an audio commentary track with Mickey Mouse in it, so that's that.
That's awesome. By the way.
Secondly, this is this might date the cast episode as well because they might eventually do this. But Netflix, I need you to hear me. If you want to make some more money, right? Mm-hmm. You should offer an audio track of commentaries.
That would be awesome.
Why don't they have that? That's the one thing I miss from streaming, or from disc to streaming, right? Streaming's the way to go. I'm not going to collect DVDs anymore, but I miss the special features.
Yeah. The ability,
That's
in which I do know, like Amazon Video does offer that, not for Prime members, but you have to purchase it. Like if you buy a video through Amazon, some movies do include like, hey, some special features or like a featurette or a couple trailers and stuff. But it's not the same. I want a commentary track. Some of these movies have English and Spanish and French language tracks. Give me an audio commentary track too. Just that. That's all I want. Just the commentary.
That's all I want.
I don't need any other crap. Real quick, I did just look it up, and Fantasia, the original one, only had 7 songs. Eight if you include the intermission / meet the soundtrack piece.
Why did I remember it? Well, it's longer. I guess that's it.
It's longer. Yeah, because at most every song on that one is, I believe, at least like 10 or 11 minutes long. Where if you look at this one, Symphony No. 5, the opening bit, 2.5 minutes. And then Carnival of the Animals is 2 minutes. Max.
That's much shorter.
Yep.
So maybe that's just it. This one didn't. That's so strange. Well, anyhow, it opens up with the opening abstract, just like the original did. Although now we have Beethoven, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that they called back to those flying triangles at the end. It was one of the last images you see. Is the butterflies are colored and designed very similar to those abstract flying triangles from the opening.
Right.
A nice little touch.
It was a nice little touch, and I know my one note on it was that it felt that opening piece felt very much so like classic Fantasia. It felt like maybe this was a deleted thing they never used in the original one. like it was very much so reminiscent of that. Unfortunately, we leave Symphony No. 5 and go into Pines of Rome. And just it's the whales, and I'm sorry, the CG whales bothered me so much.
Very PlayStation 1, right? Or PlayStation 2.
Okay.
We'll go PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2, and I mean, obviously, if anybody who's listening to this podcast knows that I continue to point out the CG in like the last handful of movies. I cannot help it. I went to school to do that, so I see it.
Yeah.
And I understand it was the era. Trust me, I know. I watched Toy Story when it was in theaters. I watch it on a semi-regular basis even today, and you can see the just wow, we've come a long way in visual in computer animated or computer animation. But the whales in this though it took me out of it because it was weird. I don't know. I was weird about it.
No, you're not wrong. You're going to hear me complain about it. I'm sure I've already complained about it, but I miss 2D animation. I miss the hand-drawn stuff. It's why I love Studio Ghibli so much, because they still have that quality to their filmmaking. And CG can do wonders. There's no doubt about it, but there's something lost in what a computer does versus what hand-drawn animation does. And you'll hear me complain about that more as we get into the second Renaissance films. But even throughout the second Dark Age. I love all these references. Second Dark Age, second Renaissance, yeah.
It's a lot of seconds, guys. I don't think we'll ever get into a thirds.
Yeah, the whales, I don't know, that it's...
and that one...
If anything, it gave you Steve Martin. It gave you Steve Martin.
Which, I will say this, I was unaware that there was going to be celebrities in this. So when Steve Martin...
I'd forgotten.
Yeah, when he shows up and starts basically telling Steve Martin jokes, like... And when he gets the violin and he flings the bow across...
Can I get another one of them stick things?
Yeah, and then, camera back on me. Camera back on me. And the camera's just like off into the orchestra at that point, and he's just quietly talking. I'm like, okay, that was a nice little surprise. Like I wasn't expecting it. I thought he was the host of the whole thing.
I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah. So when Quincy Jones shows up after the whale one, I went, okay, so Steve Martin's not going to be the main host in this. Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah. But actually going from that to Quincy Jones introducing Rhapsody in Blue.
Loved Rhapsody in Blue.
Okay, yeah. This gives a lot of how I feel about this movie. This is the reason to watch this movie.
Yep.
This Rhapsody in Blue section is such a love letter to a different era of the world, of animation, Al Hirschfield's caricatures, and oh my God, Gershwin's music,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Gosh, this is such an amazing piece. And this piece is this the group of animators who worked on this ended up being part of Pixar. Like there's a legacy happening just because of this short.
Right. Which you can see
For a short that was only go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just saying you can see that. You can, if you look in that art style, you can tell that like the fluidity of the characters, the fact that they were able to nail characterization again for people who don't ever talk. No one opens up their mouth, at least not to speak lines. But just the way that they move, the way that they hold themselves, the way that they act, their expressions and the synchronization to it, and it's very, very stylized because, like you said, it's the Hirschfield drawing characterization style. It's very just not abstract, but just just bold stroke and like stylistic.
Yeah. And this is the difference between the whale piece and the Rhapsody in Blue. You would think the music was written for the animation, not vice versa, right? When you look at the whales, the music works well for the visualization for the most part. But I don't know if you can, if off the top of your head you can remember how the music ends versus the visuals we see. It doesn't quite mesh. With Rhapsody in Blue, it meshes every step of the way. I love this sequence so much. This is such a fun sequence, and it just works perfectly. This is what like I said, this is the reason to watch. I mean, hell, you can find it on YouTube, like Jeff said.
Yeah, because that's exactly how I know I've seen it, and I wasn't even aware that it was part of this film until now, and it was a nice, pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I mean to even go one step further, I'm talking about the stylistic nature of it and how the music and the visuals mesh. This is a technical achievement. Well, let's see. It was only intended to be like two minutes long. It's like 12 minutes long.
It's a long. It actually went on longer than I expected it to go on, but I was still okay with it while watching it.
Yeah. The illustrator or the animator who came up with this idea got the blessing of Al Hirschfield to do this in his style and presented it to him on his like 96th birthday.
Oh, jeez.
So he got to actually see his style come to life the way it did. But this is amazing. The end sequence to Rhapsody in Blue contains so many different colors, over 200 individual colors on the screen at one time, that the CAPS digital animation system that they used to render out the movie, it was so hard to chug this out that it delayed production of Tarzan. That's how hey, this machine's working its ass off so hard. It's delaying another production.
Well, and that's insane because I mean, it just I don't know. I couldn't even begin to try to figure out how they processed that sequence, like how they just how they made that come together because it looked so amazing. It looked so awesome.
Yeah.
It actually looked flawless considering how technically amazing and over the top it was. Not over the top in a bad way, just over the top in a crazy, done way.
It's a very very technically demanding segment of this film, and it's funny because it's the third piece, and I'm like, oh, this is the best part of the movie.
Yep. But I will agree. I will say this though: the next handful of shorts they all have their good merits. Like they all have merits that are worth noting. I do love my Rhapsody in Blue, but I did find there was one other one that I liked just a wee bit more. It is not the next one. Let's keep going in order. It's not the next one. So
what was next?
So next, after we had a nice little moment of Bette Midler coming out there and talking to us.
Oh yes. I have a note. Hold on, I have a note here about Bette Midler. Why is she standing like that? Do you remember how she was standing? She's got her like both hands on one hip.
That's right.
And she's like staying perfectly still. And occasionally she gestures, but then she puts her hand back on her. Why is she standing like that?
It looks like she's trying to find the
so
most
weird.
awkward pose possible, and that's how she stood the entire time.
You know, I'm almost wondering if the cinematographer for that scene worked for Sears Portrait. All right, now put your hand on your hip. That's good.
That's good.
Now put your other hand on your hip.
Yep.
That's good. Now I want you to kind of just turn your shoulders, but don't move your head.
Yes.
Okay, good. Smile.
Now smile.
Smile.
And action. What?
So Bette Midler.
So Bette Midler,
go ahead.
that led us into Piano Concerto Number 2, which was from what I was reading about was that Disney had always been trying to adapt. Basically, it's kind of the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales, stuff that he had kind of written, at his time. And one of the things was like the Tin Soldier and just kind of that, it felt very like Nutcracker-ish, like the Nutcracker.
Oh, yes.
Where it's like tin soldiers ballerinas, yep. And like the evil jester, Jack in the Box character. And this sequence looked very pretty. It definitely used and relied on CG for the Tin Soldier and the Nutcracker, or on the Jack in the Box. And even I would go as far as saying the ballerina is CG as well. I think all three of our main characters are CG.
Yeah, she looked very rotoscopy too.
Right, and that's why I was a little confused. I'm like, was she? I wonder if she wasn't like mocapped.
Right.
Because that was a thing. That was a thing at this point because they mocapped artists for for Phantom Menace in '99. So like they did. It was a thing that had already been out for a while, and I wondered if maybe they didn't do that for her because this is one of those times where like the CG gave the characters a plasticky look, but it was fitting because they're all toys.
Yes, yeah. And you said you liked this segment?
I liked it. It wasn't my favorite. It's still not my favorite one, but I dug it. I liked it. I thought it was the biggest coincidence in the world that dang tin soldier that gets eaten by the fish, caught by the fisherman, and then sold back to the person who lives in the same dang house as that Toy Soldier was from.
Yeah.
I was like
a little convenient to be sure.
A little convenient, but at the same time, I did kind of like this one. It was kind of just nice and very sweet. It was very much so.
Well, something I took note of was that the Jack in the Box looks very much like a Disney villain we'd get today.
Yes.
The animation, the characteristics in his facial features, he looked very, I don't know. I mean, as Moana will be our most recent film as we're recording this, and so Frozen era, he looked like a Disney villain of the most recent film.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's a good point. That's a good point. It's crazy how like it's like, oh well, this is 15 years earlier or 18 years earlier than they were kind of already designing what we were eventually going to get.
Yeah. But then after Tin Soldier, we have Mr. James Earl Jones himself.
Oh yes,
I actually like this bit, so it's worth mentioning again. There's way more humor in this whole thing. They really gave bits to pretty much all the people who come up on screen between Steve Martin and James Earl Jones. I like James Earl Jones' little bit here where he like is building up this this epic thing, and he's like, flamingo with a yo-yo. I don't do a James Earl Jones. Jeff, do you do a James Earl Jones?
I do not, unfortunately. I used to. Okay, no, I can't do it. No, it's just too much pressure. Too much pressure. No, I cannot. I cannot do my James Earl Jones.
Yeah, I do like this short though. This is very Pixar-y.
This is the one,
very much like,
and this is my favorite.
Oh yeah, all right, cool. I mean, and you said how long is it? It's like 2 minutes.
It's 2 minutes. It's under 2 minutes. Like, which when it ended, I was legitimately surprised. I went, "It's done." Wait, what?
Because we wanted more.
Well, yeah. I wanted more, and B, we just came off of the last one, and the last one was 8 minutes long. So to follow or 7.5. So to follow it up with something that's just under 2, it's very kind of just jarring because you're like, oh, we're done. Okay, and we're on to the next one.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But this is the one I like because, and I'm not gonna lie, my notes originally said the hand-drawn animation is fantastic.
Yes.
It's all CG.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That makes me see that's where CG thrives, because though I will say I miss the quality of 2D animation, you have animators who try to blend those classic styles. Tangled is a great example of that, and we'll get to that down the road,
Mm-hmm.
of mixing hand drawn style with CG style, and Pixar has done that for a couple of their films as well. The flamingos, I would have sworn were hand drawn. That is spectacular.
The segment is, and I'm quoting online, the segment was produced with CG and 6,000 watercolor paintings.
Wow.
So it's like watercolor paintings mixed with CGI to form the final look.
Hey, how long should we make this 6,000 animated hand-drawn watercolor? How long should this song be?
Can it be 25 seconds? I don't want it to go any more than 25 seconds. That's already a lot of frames.
Can we let's leave it under 2 minutes, please?
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Good thinking.
No, this segment was my favorite. I loved the humor in it. I loved the simplicity of it, that it literally just follows those 6 flamingos or 5 flamingos or 7, however many there are. Like, I love it. I love the
flamingo
music.
with a yo-yo.
It's very funny. Yeah, I love the motion in it. I loved the animation in it. I thought it was kind of funny. I love at the end when he comes back with like 12 yo-yos. It made me laugh and it made me smile, and I went, no, I like this one. This one's good.
Yeah.
But like you said, it is very reminiscent of it's reminiscent of like a Pixar short. This could have very well been like what's the one with the birds? Is it just birds? The birds?
For the birds.
For the birds? Like, it's very reminiscent of that. It feels like it would have been a little 3-minute short before another Pixar film that Pixar decided to make, and I'm completely okay with that. So good.
Yeah, I really like that segment as well because of what I thought was hand drawn. So I'm an idiot.
Well, it is, a lot of it is watercolor painting, so it's possible that, because you're still getting that real drawn, or painted look that's mixed with the CG.
I like it's that Looney Tunes, that kinetic comedy.
Looney Tunes.
I like that a lot.
That's the style. Oh, that's a good point, sir. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's something about it that I like, and I just couldn't tell what it was.
It's that really kinetic, slapsticky, and that's another example of the music going perfectly with the imagery in this. What was the one we just had before this? Was the Tin Soldier?
Yep.
Actually, the Tin Soldier worked really well for the animation as well. I guess the Whales one is the only one I'm being kind of mean about.
Well, the Whales one I'm confused about too, because I don't know what happens in that one. That one's almost a little too strangely abstract, because it's like the whales are they're swimming and then they're flying, and then the baby whale gets caught inside the ice cave, and then the baby whale finds its way out, and then the whales all go up into the clouds, and then they go to what looks like an explosion in heaven, and maybe they die.
Jeff, you're broken.
I think
Jeff,
my eyes are cross-eyed.
No, went to the blue whales went extinct. It's our fault. I think that's what we're trying to say.
Got it.
Ugh. Yeah.
Stupid Disney.
You know, Jeff. Something that I hate about sequels is that they just repeat, like sequels just repeat what was successful in the first one.
I know.
And so the segment we got next was The Sorcerer's Apprentice 2, and it really just felt like the exact same thing we saw last time, right?
They rehashed
that mouse didn't. The Mickey didn't learn anything. I can totally understand why Yensid is angry here, because that mouse did it again, Jeff.
TC.
What?
I think it was the same one. I think they just reused it.
What?
Why would they do what that I must be wrong. They must have just redrawn the whole thing, right? In 4x3.
Of course. Yeah, in 4x3. So we got The Sorcerer's Apprentice comes next, and they remastered it because it's a little crisper than they cleaned up the cells on it. And it is the one thing people can off the cuff name from the first Fantasia is Mickey in the blue hats The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Which and then this does keep with the original concept of Fantasia that it's gonna there'll be some things that are the same, some things that are new. I mean, granted they literally threw away everything else, but I guess you could argue like, well, okay, so the Tin Soldier one was a concept that Walt had been trying to do before he even made Snow White. Like it was something he wanted to do, he never got to it. So you could argue like, well, the ideas are things that had been in the works for decades. They just never got around to doing it. But I mean, I did like I kind of liked the Penn and Teller intro, though I would be like, and I like Penn and Teller. I've seen them live. I've got to meet them. They were great people, and I love their magic and I love their humor. But at the same time, I'm like, that segment's actually a little too much for kids. Like if there's anything bad in this one, like whereas Fantasia 1 had nudity and demon boobs in it basically, this one was just this sequence the Penn and Teller opening, because Teller chops his hand off at one point. Yes, I know
it was all magic.
Yeah. But still, it's like a kid at first is not going to understand what the big angry man is shouting about. Yeah.
That's the thing with Penn and Teller. I like Penn and Teller too. I really like their specials that they do, their show, which will remain nameless on this PG podcast.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about. BS, TC. BS.
The thing is, they are live performers and they do not translate well to the screen.
No.
And where that segment probably... I don't remember it one way or the other, but in theaters would work really well because it's more of a theater experience. Watching it at home and having him yell at me through the TV, it felt kind of... Of all these segments, again, I like Penn and Teller. It felt out of place.
Right.
And, of course, there's the little bit of their maiming that's occurring in here.
But I understand why they're the ones that introduced this one, because it's about it's about magic. So of course you're gonna get Penn and Teller to show up, because in 2000, what other magician was popular or well known anymore? Because David Copperfield had left and Lance Burton was just doing a bajillion shows in Vegas, and we still hadn't had Chris Angel mind freak.
You know what? Penn Jillette looks like a lady I know.
Well, I'm so sorry for that lady. Question mark?
Moving on.
Well,
I don't know why. I do not know why I felt compelled to just say that out loud. I'm just looking at a picture of it because I brought it up real quick. I'm looking at him like it just dawned on me. I know a lady who looks like Penn Jillette.
Like this. We'll leave her.
Hey, you look like Penn Jillette. Excuse me, sir.
Ma'am.
Okay.
Before or after the operation? That's the real thing I'm confused about. So let's move on.
You know what I noticed in this one, Jeff?
What?
Because we returned back to Mickey and the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and it was nice to see it. It was, it's nice to return to it. It is a classic piece of Disney. I really paid attention to the broom this time.
Okay.
Right? Because Mickey is he's red and blue. He's the bright, shining piece of this whole segment. But I actually really paid attention to the broom's animation.
Okay.
And even going so far as I made a note of the hands on the broom are so well done. They're these he has these stubby little fat fingers, and his arms are like rail thin with the knobby little elbows.
Right. And
really just taking the time to appreciate the other aspects of the Sorcerer's Apprentice. It was nice to return to it, to have that kind of refresher of that bygone era of the Walt era.
Well, and you can really tell how far Disney's come in the 60 years between the original Fantasia and this Fantasia, because you look at the art style, you look at the design, the animation, the quality of the animation. That's not a slight on the 40s or even the modern day one. You can see a visual change in just how things are done. And the 4:3 aspect ratio aside, that means nothing. But just you could see this how far they've come, and it was nice in that instance to reflect upon the history of Disney. But
But then we move from Mickey to Donald, who now he just maintains the record of the Disney character who has been in the most feature films
that's true.
as an actual role. Because yes, Disney Bambi's mom keeps showing up and getting murdered,
And getting murdered by every
but,
hunter in the Disney universe. I will.
But Donald again,
Right.
he's in another one.
I will, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about when I came to the intro piece for this one, because this is the one where Mickey's running around trying to find Donald. I liked the segue that they did though, because they used the end of The Sorcerer's Apprentice from the original Fantasia, where Mickey runs up and thanks the conductor.
Yes, that's right.
And that's the sequence from Fantasia. And then he runs down the stairs, and we cut to this wide shot of the hall where Mickey's running from the distance, where you see the outline of the conductor standing in silhouette in the distance.
Really, yes.
And
that is such a neat moment.
yeah, and runs over to the new conductor, and that moment I liked. I liked them bridging the gap and basically playing off of this concept that it's all in the same world. Like that the original Fantasia one is taking place in the same time as this Fantasia. Like it's all like that conductor is still down there. He's still alive. He's still they just completed just finished conducting Fantasia, the original one, and this is just continuing the story. Like I dug that little bit of filmmaking that they did.
Yeah.
But
and then we get to hear Donald showering.
Yes.
And then also get to see him bathing later.
there's a lot of nude Donald, if you will.
Nude Donald.
Nude Donald. I like the one thing I did like. I mean, I like that.
Nude duck. Hashtag Danude duck.
Hashtag Danude duck. DONNUDE or DONUDE. We'll take either one of them.
I don't want people to be confused. NUDE. All right, people.
Oh man. So I like this one. At the same time, so my initial vibe, especially at the start of it, was I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting a very strong Lion King vibe going on with this one. Because
when it opens up, I'm like, no,
it's just the sweeping mountains and all of these animals, beautifully drawn. This whole sequence is gorgeous looking. I wanted to ask you though. I wanted your personal opinion because Disney. This is, I mean, it's the story of Noah's Ark, and that's a fairly biblical story. Do you think
pretty biblical?
Just pretty
Jeff,
biblical,
pretty biblical.
Do you think that's weird in a Disney movie? Because Disney doesn't tend to hit upon like strong religious beliefs or
you don't know about the Illuminati conspiracy in Disney movies, Jeff. All right, you need to get your head out of the clouds. All right, buckle in. It's time for us to pull back the curtain.
All right,
Jeff, let me tell you about Disney's conspiracy theory with the Illuminati. All right.
This is the Illuminati hour. Not much different than the Katzenberg minute, in case you guys are wondering. So let's buckle down and watch.
Oh man,
and go.
The duck. Let me tell you about the duck. All right. How do I feel about Disney? What was the question? It was about Disney's religion.
Just like the fact that like Disney hasn't really dabbled a ton. And trust me, I know that there are references. There's bits and pieces. There are things that can be a little more.
Johnny Appleseed was, the Lord is good to me.
Right, like I almost like that was probably one of the last big ones, wasn't it? That we've kind of stumbled across.
Yeah, there's reference to God and country, and I suppose King Arthur, and I believe Sleeping Beauty. There's like casual references to religious beliefs and whatnot. This is a very blatant biblical story that they've brought to life here.
Right. And not saying that's bad.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I want to
right.
I'm not offended because they did a biblical story. Like no. It's
no, of course not.
It's just it's weird, and it's like wow. I wonder why they chose to do that. Like why was it this story?
Yeah. Pomp and Circumstance is the song they chose for this. It's more commonly known as the graduation song.
Right.
This is another one of those I don't quite think the music suits the animation or the story they're trying to tell. I don't hate it. It doesn't quite mesh like other segments we've discussed. Mm-hmm. As far as them doing a religious piece like this, there's nothing inherently religious about what occurs.
Right.
in the segment. So it's a very safe version of playing with a biblical story. I mean, if you want to go to DreamWorks, so I guess we're bringing Katzenberg into the conversation again.
We can't go an episode without bringing Katzenberg into it now at this point, guys.
Yeah. Prince of Egypt was one of the first DreamWorks animation films, and that is a straight up Old Testament movie that came out in 1998, so 2 years earlier, and that is the story of Moses and the Ten Commandments, and a very blatantly religious film. There's something. It's more accessible. It's safer to skirt the religious aspects of it, and I enjoyed this little arc. Actually, I felt some love for
Yeah.
deliberate Danude duck. Okay.
Hashtag Danude duck.
But when Donald and Daisy find each other at the end, I have a little warms my heart a little bit. My little, not the golden heart that there's too many puns, Jeff.
There's a lot
What's happening?
There's a lot of puns and a lot of hearts
Oh
and
my
a
gosh.
lot of things.
I think I had too much sugar today because I cannot complete a thought to save my life.
No, it's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
boy.
I know we don't have to go any further than that. I just wanted to kind of generally know your thoughts about it, because that was the only thing that kind of that pulled me out of it for a split second, was because I know like Disney doesn't tackle that sort of thing, because really they want to keep themselves as open to as many people as possible, and if you start focusing on one particular religion, that can very well pigeonhole you into a certain spot throughout the whole world, where there are many different types of beliefs and such.
Yeah.
So that was the only reason why I even questioned it. But like you said, I agree with that. I mean, the plot, the point of the story, really, really, it is what it's what the movie Titanic did to the singing of Titanic, because it's a love story set against Noah's Ark. Whereas like Titanic,
we know how the story ends.
Yeah,
right?
we know it's a bunch of animals that get on the boat and they go somewhere, and the flooding ceases and recedes, and then they all just get off and they move on. It's like we all know how Titanic ends. It's just that there's the love story set across it. It's very much so that.
Yeah, and there is some. It is very much that. But there's some fun bits in this. I love Donald's a great character because he has so much personality
Without opening
and
his mouth again.
without ever uttering a word. But there's some fun little bits. I like that those two little mice keep constantly being at threat of predators over the course of the few minutes this exists. I like the bit where Donald's running out of the Ark once they've made a land, and he does a double take at a couple of actual ducks leaving the Ark.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's just a fun little real ducks, and he's a Donald duck.
And he's a Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was well drawn. It was very well animated, and I like that we kind of hit back into that world where the human character, you really don't see what they look like. You
get like glimpses of Noah, but never like a clear look at him.
Right. It's that kind of fallback to the old school Disney animation style of just keeping below the waist. That the humans aren't important. They're important enough to further the plot, but not important enough for you to actually see what they look like.
Right.
And I'm good with that. And I liked it had the nice little happy ending. My biggest complaint was, how long were they on that frickin' boat? And you're telling me Daisy and Donald never crossed paths. I mean, I know they had moments where they just missed each other, but are you telling me that happened for however many days and nights that flood happened?
Well, 40 days.
Was it 40?
And 40 nights.
I wanted to say but I didn't want to, in case I was wrong.
So which was more contrived? The fact that the fish ate the tin soldier and magically got him back to the house he came from, or the fact that for 40 days and 40 nights, Daisy and Donald did not cross paths once?
Look, I'll buy the fact that maybe that arc is just huge, okay? And maybe they were just always on different floors. And
Okay.
the fish eating the tin soldier, the tin soldier falling out of the window, landing in the water, going down the drain, into the water, getting eaten by the fish, picked up by the fish, sold in the market. That is too unbelievable, guys.
Oh man. Well, we go from seeing our classic Donald Duck drawn in the classic style from the 40s. Yep. He had been updated after the fact, but they animated him to the 1940s style. But going from one classic animated character, we go to our final presenter, who is a legend unto herself.
Miss Angela.
Is she a dame? Is she Dame Angela Lansbury?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't actually know if she is. I
Well,
I could look it up.
There's no way to know.
There's no way to
There's no
know.
way to know.
If only we had a way of looking it up. She's still alive, which is insane. By the way, she's 92 years
Angela.
old.
Oh no.
I know. I started it, didn't I?
Angela Lansbury introduces the final segment, which is the Firebird, and this. I actually have a theory about this section.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, what did you just think in general of this final segment? It's the spirit of spring being brought to life, waking up from her hibernation to spread spring across the land, and the evil Firebird, the volcano, erupts and destroys all her work and nearly destroys her, and only for her to return and bring life back to the land. How did you feel about this segment?
So I liked it. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was well animated, and I liked the. I was trying to find like the actual term for it, but I liked the characterization of things, especially Disney, because Disney's really good at doing this. But I liked, the characterization of things that don't normally have like a character to them, like the fact that the lava was characterized as this like bird, this big like evil, like almost like I pictured like a hawk or something, just a bad like a big. Bad bird, basically, that was just attacking Big Bad Bird, which is the sequel to Follow That Bird from Sesame Street.
The second one's always the darkest chapter.
It's always the darkest chapter. It's when Big Bird finds out his dad is actually Oscar the Grouch. Really big tongue twister there. Anyways, then Oscar chops off.
Oh no, that's not true. That's impossible.
And then Oscar chops off the arm of Big Bird that's just attached to the string that doesn't actually move because Carol Sweeney.
I wasn't using that arm anyway. I can't do a Big Bird. I was gonna just run into it and see if I could do it, but I couldn't.
Oh, I do that. I do that a lot. I tried doing that with James Earl Jones earlier. It was just nothing. I can't. Anyways, I like that I love that characterization. I love that they gave a character to spring, and to being reborn in life. Having said that, it does come off very much so like the whole nature-driven Disney that we're destroying our world and we're destroying our culture, and it's like, look at this stuff, but don't worry because nature will nature will find a way, if you will. But like nature comes back. It doesn't matter what. But it did come across a little. And which I'm sure probably was the point. It came across very, I can't think of the actual term, but very just like heal the world, Mother Nature things.
Is it a bit preachy for you?
A little bit.
Too preachy for you?
Actually, ironically, a little more preachy than the segment that was about a biblical story.
Well, maybe this theory will help you.
Okay.
Maybe find some appreciation for this section here. Now, overall, I will say, and especially because we're talking about the last piece, I can say this now. That first Fantasia, though I theorized that it was the story of life, right, from conception to death and beyond, there was no real connection to any of these films. Like I couldn't. I actually was going out of my way to can I find some cool way to create a narrative to this whole piece, and I really couldn't. And so the one theory that I tried to find if anyone else. Online, I looked around on Reddit to see if I could find any Fantasia 2000 theories, and I didn't really find any. That there's one involving the spirit of spring, that it might be Tafiti from Moana, which I guess, but how did she get to Hawaii?
Yeah.
But my theory deals with the stag that brings the spirit of spring.
I think I know where you're going with this.
The world. Could the stag be the prince of the forest? Mm-hmm. Could the stag be Bambi or Bambi's descendants? And that is why the prince of the forest is so important in the world of Bambi.
Yep.
Why it wasn't just like, oh, the young prince has been born in Bambi. It's like, holy cow, this is the successor to the king of the forest, the spirit of the forest, who's going to lead us and bring spring about. Like, I'm giving Bambi more power than he probably deserves, but
But no,
could there be something to that?
I was right there with you with it because that was I had my two notes on it on this particular piece, and the second one was, is the deer Bambi's dad or is that Bambi grown up? Now
Yeah.
there is kind of an analogy of the mountain exploding. It kind of looked a little bit like Saint Mount Helen or Helena.
Mount St. Helens.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, when, in Washington.
In Washington,
So,
that blew up. When was that? That was back in what, the 70s, 80s? Sorry,
There's no way to know.
There's
Jeff.
no way to know. Also, by the way, Angela Lansbury, yeah, she's a dame. Sorry, I had to look that up because nobody knows. No, so St. Mount Helens. That I guess the last eruption was in 2008, but it's been
Mount St. Helens. I
Yes.
just don't want anyone to be correcting you in the comments.
correct. Mount St. Helens.
There's people tweeting at you.
Not Saint Mount Helens. But like it kind of resembled that mountain after it had exploded, and like there. So a part of me is kind of curious to know if
I just brought up a picture of it. That looks exactly like the mountain.
Right?
So please continue.
So like
Please
now
continue.
I'm wondering if because of that. I'm wondering if this is not the story of Mount St. Helens, and if that's the case, then I would see that is I would be on board with that being Bambi. It's a grown-up Bambi, like Bambi, because Bambi lives for a long. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they, because it's the Prince of the Forest. If these particular stags live for a long time before they die, or so I wouldn't be surprised if it's Bambi.
Of mystical ability, and also this spirit of the spirit of spring is a new entry into the Wizard's Duel. I don't know how to handle her. But
What is she gonna do? She's just gonna make things green.
do I have to add Bambi to the Wizard's Duel now?
Oh my, that'd be so interesting. Like, what is it? And okay, going up on the first round is Bambi versus Maleficent. Well, Bambi's dead, so moving on to round two. And just it's like, what's Bambi gonna do? He's just gonna lead the spirit of the spring to Maleficent. And that's it. That's all he does.
He's gonna breathe hot breath on you. Hot deer breath.
Hot deer
on you.
breath. Oh, I love hot deer
Stag breath.
Hot deer breath
So, Jeff,
sounds like a bad beer that somebody would make, a craft beer. Anyways, yes, you were asking.
Can I get a hot deer breath?
In a chilled glass, please.
Would you? Okay, so we often ask this of the films, especially from this library. Is this something you'd sit a kid down in front of? Who's this for? Who's the audience for this?
It's tough, and I feel like we might have dabbled on this one, especially for the first one. I think we talked about that too. I don't think I would sit a kid down in front of this, just because there's nothing. Excuse me. There's nothing to it that would keep their attention.
Yeah, I mean the Flamingos, or Rhapsody in Blue, the Donald section, like those three, they have enough animated quality to them that I think you could hold their attention as a short.
Right, but Rhapsody in Blue is so long.
not.
Rhapsody in Blue is so long. They're gonna get bored halfway through that. Going, is it over with yet?
Yeah.
I know. I mean, like, that's what I'd be worried about. I would be worried that there's not enough to keep their attention, even with the celebrities. Well, and then look at the celebrities that are between each piece. How many kids know who those people are?
What's a Bette Midler?
Right. Like you could potentially be like, well, okay, well that woman did the voice of Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast. Like maybe they'd get that. Or that guy is the voice of Simba's dad in Lion King. But that's also making
how interesting is that?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, oh, okay. And that's as far as they'll care about it. This is Fantasia 2000. Honestly, I firmly believe it is for people who grew up watching the original Fantasia or just really like classical music.
Maybe. Yeah, the music of this is great.
Music's great.
I don't think we didn't discuss that enough. I think that all the tracks on here, there might be more. There might be. I think it might be even with Fantasia, but the music in this is great. Look, the original Fantasia, I feel, is a study of animation. It's a study of technique. It's a study of imagination and how to bring things to life from your mind to the screen and present it to an audience. I don't feel like this one is ambitious enough to even be considered that in art student respects. If you'll indulge me for a minute, I actually went. I have a little anecdote. I went and saw this artist in Southern California. He's this very, very famous urban artist, and this guy's name is Gronk. All right.
Okay. As in like the Gronk droids from Star Wars?
Gronk, Gronk, right? And I went to it. I went with someone to go see it. And I didn't like seek this out. I just went to see this guy because of a friend. And you want to talk about pretension? Holy cow! This guy was so far up his own.
Yep. All right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
He was initially brought on to Fantasia 2000 to work on Fantasia 2000 to be one of his art style was going to be used for a segment. I don't remember if he said which segment it was going to be. And his art is very street. It's very graffiti, which is neat. It might be interesting to see some song brought to life with graffiti in this artist's style, but he was in the middle of development, and he decided to walk away. He said, "I don't want to. You are compromising the integrity of my art." I mean, how far do you get into a process before suddenly you're being compromised? well, Jeff, I'll tell you. They asked Mr. Gronk to use the color purple. And that was the line.
That was it?
He said, I will not do this, Disney. You will not make me... The story just blew my mind. Because to have the opportunity to be plucked... Honestly, how many street urban artists are a household name?
Yeah,
this guy was plucked from obscurity by Walt Disney Studios to say, we want your art style to be in the next Fantasia. You say yes.
Yes.
I don't care if purple isn't your color.
Yep.
For the love of God.
I've personally always lived by that motto too. I'm like hey, I have a lot of respect for my own artwork. I like my style. I like what I do. But if somebody like Lucasfilm or Pixar or Disney came and went, we want you to design a poster, but we do have some guidelines. I am not the type of person that is so into my own self to go, no, thank you. I don't need your work. I'd be like, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I'll completely change everything about what I do if that makes me get more work from you guys and I can get to work with you more often. Like, shut up. Stop being so pretentious and just suck it up and don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Don't eat the apples before they hatch.
So, yeah, he told that story.
Don't count your chickens before they're rocks. I don't know what the phrases are. Just do it.
I don't know either. Everyone in the room listening to this artist talk was like, "Oh wow, you had such integrity," and I'm in the back row going, "What?" I didn't. Obviously, I was respectful. I was polite, but in my head, I'm going, "You fool! You fool! Disney, I'll use purple. I draw cartoons, Disney. I will draw your cartoons.
I'll do whatever you want, please."
Oh boy!
Just for anybody who might be listening to this episode, there is I found a piece of artwork of Mr. Gronk, and it will be on the Ghost Tap page for this episode under just below there, just so you can kind of it's a sample of one of his pieces. It's a piece called Flipside, and you can currently buy it for $1,800, and it's it's an 11.5 by 17.5 piece of paper. Sorry, it's on wood. It's on wood. My apologies, guys. It's on wood.
Yeah, it's on wood. So, Jeff, of the Fantasia movies, how do you rank? See, now, you might be able to rank them better than me, but because I haven't seen the other 1,998 of them, I've only seen the two. But you, if I'm remembering correctly, you've seen all the Fantasia movies.
I sat down for 16 years and I watched every single one of these Fantasia movies. And let me tell you, you thought the Rocky series drew on after a couple of them? Man, this just gets tedious. They do classical pieces of music that I have never even heard of. Sometimes the animation, just a black screen with a little white bouncing ball. That's it.
Fantasia 2000 is so good. What about the other 900? Like, that obviously means.
I'm
so glad. There's anyone out there who's like,
Guys, we are joking. Just letting you know that TC was joking.
What is wrong with me? Jeff? I am off the rails today.
You know what? It is okay, TC. It is okay. So let me do. I want to ask you a real quick question though. I want to know because we kind of briefly talked about this at the beginning, and it's not the question I think you thought it was going to be. I'm going to do that one of these days. But of all the movies that we have watched,
now. Are you asking me?
You know what? No, I do have a quick legitimate question. Do you think they'll ever do? Okay. Do you think they will ever do another one of these? That is my legitimate question. Do you think they will ever make another Fantasia? It was 60 years between the first one and the second one, which I know we brought up, and this one did not do. Basically, this one just broke even at most.
Yeah.
Do you think this is something that they will revisit maybe in 2040 for the original one's 100th anniversary? I know, right? It's crazy to think that that's really only in, 33 years? Like wow. We'll be around to see the 100th anniversary of Fantasia, which scares the crap out of me. But do you think they will?
I think they will. I think they'll find a way to do another Fantasia. Yeah, I do. I do think that they'll find another way to do it, and I think they'll probably figure out a way to do it better. Okay. Because a lot of the fallacies in Fantasia 2000 are the ambition isn't there. The celebrities they chose are not. Who cares? I think the celebrities were a problem. I would rather hear from the conductors and the musicians, which we do get. I would rather hear from them presenting the music, because it should be about the music and the visualization of the music, not the hey, look who we got. Right. It shouldn't be about that.
Which easily dates the film, like almost immediately. I mean, I know a lot of those celebrities are still around doing stuff, but it's like, oh, this is obviously a product of the 90s, early 2000s. Just based upon who's in it as celebrities.
Yeah, I think that, I do think that. How about you? Do you think they'll do another one of these down the road?
I would like them to, but like you were, I would want them to put enough space between it. Like originally I went, do you think they'll do it in like 2060? So it's like every 60 years they do another Fantasia. But then I realized that would have passed the 100th anniversary of the original one, and that's when they should do it. They should really do it on the 100th anniversary. And I think knowing Disney and knowing the giant just entity it's becoming, I think in like another 25, another 30 years or so, they'll start production on another Fantasia for release on its 100th anniversary. Like I completely believe that.
It won't be orchestration. They will pick pop hits from all across the eras. God, that would be
Britney Spears will come out of retirement to record a brand new song. She'll be, 75 years old, but
it's Disney, so it'll be Christina Aguilera doing Genie in a Bottle.
That's true.
Or
with the resurrected voice of Robin Williams.
The Spin Doctors doing two Princes. Yeah, well, come on, Jeff. Let's brainstorm here. How many other...
Prince doing a song?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, who else can we get here? We can... Okay.
No, get out of here.
No, we'll stop with that. Get out of here. All right, so I real quick, before we go to the last little bits and pieces of this week's episode, I do want to say there is a trope. There's 2 tropes in this one, guys.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not.
What do we get?
Number 1, the villain falls to his death.
Oh, God, I didn't even think of that.
The Jack in the Box falls to his death and into fire, which I got so happy when I saw that. I went, oh, trope! Also, the perpetually barefoot protagonist, because Donald doesn't wear any shoes.
Oh, I don't know. That's pushing it there, Jeff.
No, it is not. No, it is not. That duck has fins or flippers or whatever those things are. They are not. They have no shoes on those things. All right, so that's all I have for that. All right, let's we can move on. We can move on to any comments and questions on the Facebooks and social medias.
All right, okay. I mean, do you want to rank it? I mean, we could.
We could do that right now. Yeah. So TC, I will.
Of all the. You asked me. I'll go first.
Okay.
I don't feel compelled to watch this again.
Yep.
There was nothing about this that I I'm putting this at the bottom. This is under Pocahontas.
Ooh.
I know that's. I actually think you're probably going to put it above Pocahontas. That's my guess. There's no sense in me guessing. You're about to tell me. But when it comes down to it, that there's just nothing really. I love the Rhapsody in Blue section, but I can just watch that. I like the Flamingo section, but I can just watch that.
You don't need to watch the whole
even
thing.
Even the original Fantasia, you can put it on as background music. You can be engaged in the imagery as well. But there's the celebrity sequences in Fantasia 2000 are distracting, and just in the big picture things, this was a misstep, and there's nothing truly classic about this film. Pocahontas has some good music, and it has some good animation, and at the very least, that puts it above this. So I don't hate this movie. I don't want to come across with any sort of Jungle Book isms.
Shut up! You shut your mouth, sir.
But in the big picture things, yeah, this is. I'm gonna put this at the bottom.
All right,
yeah,
so this is your number 8. This is your number 8.
How about you, Jeff?
Well, I am going to put it directly above Pocahontas.
Wow.
So,
okay.
I will just say this. I'm going to say this right now. Okay. Originally, when I first thought about it yesterday, it was my number 6. And I put it, above Hercules as well.
Hercules. Whoa.
Because when it came down to it, I'm like, which one would I watch again? And that was my initial thought. But I said it and I'm thinking, you know what? I still like Hades. That character is still funny. It's still enjoyable. And I'm like, no, I liked Hades more than... Again, for the exact same... my sentiments, what TC said, my sentiments exactly. I love the Rhapsody in Blue. I loved the Flamingo one. But that's not enough to save this one for me. And unfortunately, I would watch Hercules before I'd watch this again, but I would definitely watch this before I watch Pocahontas again. I'm so sorry for any of the Pocahontas lovers out there. I can't. The tree came to life. There was no other magic in that movie. I don't get it. I know that's my thing I always harp on. It's not the only reason why I didn't like that movie, but it was just, yeah, this is my number 7.
7.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. Well, I am curious to hear what people have to say, just in reaction of what we've discussed here, and we'll move on to the latter half of the end of the episode here. But if you do want to hit up facebook.com/topshelfpod, we do throw up the episode before we record. So if you want us to talk about anything, do it there. Otherwise, after the episode goes up, whether it's on Ghost Hat, if you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you might be listening to this, hit up the Facebook page. And let us know what you think of what we've discussed, what you think of the movie. Or you can Twitter page at us. I'm at TC's Big Head. Jeff is at Random Bell.
What?
And we do have some comments. I have 2 tweets, and there's a few comments in the comment section that I'd be happy to look over. Jeff, do you have any comments this week?
Nothing off the top of my head. I did not find any. Okay. Sorry.
All right. Well, Wyatt says Fantasia 2000 strikes me as a film that had so much potential, but because of the creative team was obviously not on the same page as the 1940s opus, it feels like it has the appeal. It has to appeal to the masses as opposed to being another monumental art piece. I do like the Firebird Suite and Rhapsody in Blue, but I'm just happy I own the soundtrack because that's what really sets this movie apart for him. I appreciate it as it is because Roy E. Disney's love letter, it was a love letter to his uncle Walt, but it lacks the boldness of the original film. I think we're all on the same page here, Wyatt.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Totally. He did offer us a question, which is a question he actually asked us in the first Fantasia. Is there any piece of classic music that you would love to see represented in a Fantasia? What would it be? I know there were plans for Ride of the Valkyrie and Clair de Lune, which I will share, and he shares it. And I believe he shared it when we watched the first Fantasia. This is such an on-the-spot question.
I know.
Because, how about this, Jeff? I'm going to pitch you a Fantasia, right?
Okay.
Where now this would be there'd be a lot of literal visualizations that would happen, but what I would pitch is a John Williams Fantasia, or And he's, I mean, John Williams does concerts all the time. They put visualizations from Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Superman, Harry Potter. They put that up on the screen while the orchestra is playing and he's conducting. I'd like to an animated version of a John Williams Fantasia where you don't necessarily see a game of Quidditch, but you see a snitch flying around and shadows on brooms and more abstract realizations of the enormity of John Williams's library.
Right.
I would watch that. I would watch that.
That would be fat, especially done in that style. And you know, and then do what they did with this one, or what they did with both Fantasias. Each piece is in a different style. It's by a different creative team, by a different artist. So it's different interpretations. One might be realistic. One might be, or quote unquote realistic. One might be CG. One might be hand drawn. One might be the Hirschfeld style. You know, one could be just give it to a bunch of different types of animators and styles, and then just let it go. Let your imaginations run with each of these pieces. Yeah. That would be fascinating.
That would be a Fantasia I would be on board for. So now Wyatt, that's not exactly strictly a piece of music, but that would be my pitch for a Fantasia-like movie that I could definitely sit through.
See, and that might be a fascinating series of Fantasias. Like, pick a handful of different film composers over the years.
Like Hans Zimmer.
Like Hans Zimmer, you could pull him. Honestly, you'd have to do a Danny Elfman one eventually. Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah.
We're all on. But like James Horner would be fantastic because he made some beautiful. James Newton Howard would be a great one. I know these are a lot more modern ones, but you could go back, go pull Bernard Herrmann. You know, dude who did Psycho and North by North, like Hitchcock's films. That would be a brilliant, Fantasia
series. Yeah.
Just do a series of it, and it could literally just be Fantasia, John Williams. You know, like Fantasia, Bernard Herrmann. Like, you could do those just series and pick composers and animate pieces to their music. That would be fantastic. I'd watch the crap out of that.
All right, I've sold the idea, everyone. Disney, call me. I know you listen to this podcast.
They do. And that'll be Fantasia number 2026.
2026.
Yep. So we got
Jeff. They have 1998 more films to make.
Man, they got so many.
Zach Edwards says, I think Rhapsody in Blue segment is a perfect match between music and animation. Unfortunately, other than that and the Sorcerer's Apprentice segment, this film left no impact on me as a kid. Zach, again, I think we're all on the same page here.
It's nice to know that we're not alone. We weren't alone in the thoughts. We weren't alone in the feelings. That's like, this was fine, but it's not the same as the original one. And I'm glad to know that, because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I feel weird about my ranking of some of these movies, but it's nice to know it'd be like everyone else is like, no, this was kind of just meh.
Validation.
Yes, my validation. Yes, excellent.
So I do have a couple tweets. Oh, I actually just got a third tweet while we're sitting here. From our good old pal Dig Hi Ho.
Yay!
Hold on, let me just read it real quick. Okay. I actually have an answer for this one. I have an answer for this one. Jeff, of all the pieces in Fantasia 2000, do you feel any of them could be features?
Ooh.
I'll give you a moment. Go ahead, digest it. What do you think? The Tin Soldier, the Spirit of Spring.
The Tin Soldier is the one that I feel like could be a Pixar movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the one. Like, and okay, it could be a Disney movie. I guess I could say that, but it is the one where I feel like that is a story, because it'd be a story about, he falls in love with this girl. The girl is kept, so it's still like a prince and like princess and evil like king type storyline. But then he gets knocked out the window. It's a little bit like Toy Story. He gets knocked out the window and has to he befriends the real world as he makes his way back to the home in order to save her before they get married or before whatever happens. Like, it's very that one I can see. That one I can see as being a feature-length film. Now, would that be good? Right. I don't know. But
it depends who makes it, right?
It's true. Very true.
Jeff, there already is a feature based on one of these shorts.
Really?
And I feel like people have failed to remember this. I know you forgot, Jeff. I know the listeners forgot. So I need to remind all of you that Disney made a Sorcerer's Apprentice starring Nicolas Cage.
You have waited 11 months to bring that thing back up again, haven't you?
You forgot. You forgot, and I needed to remind you. Nicolas Cage, Jay Baruchel, Disney's The Sorcerer's Apprentice. That is a real thing, Jeff.
You know, TC, there are two types of people in this world. One, people who remember that movie, and two, all the people trying to forget it existed. TC, which one of those two are you?
Yeah, I'm the first guy. I'm the only guy. Even Jay Baruchel forgot he was in that movie.
Oh, I forgot I was in this film.
Oh God, guys? I forgot I was in it, and I was just sitting around, and all of a sudden I woke up and I was like, did someone just bring up my movie? What movie? Oh my God, I was in Sorcerer's Apprentice. Jeez.
This is gonna be trending on his Twitter wall tomorrow or on Wednesday.
Jay, we should make a sequel. No, Jeff, you be Nick Cage.
Oh geez, Nick, I don't know if we should do this. It sounds like a bad idea.
No, it'd be a totally great idea. I got a totally good idea. We're just gonna go, and it turns out on the inside of my hat is a map to the Declaration of Independence.
All right. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, okay.
Come on. I'll be a magician. Witcha.
All right. I'll just work the...
Thank you, everyone. That was Jeff and TC Theater right there.
I feel like we haven't done that in a long time. That was good.
Our other... Oh, man, I might have to animate that one. There's a...
Please do.
We have one other tweet. This is from Kayan Zezus, who says the broom death was the most violent thing she saw as a kid.
Yeah.
Probably not, but it's still pretty violent.
He
murdered a sentient broom.
He murdered a sentient broom down the middle, like as if he chopped it into its head and just split it in twain.
Well, I got a follow-up tweet. She's tweeted twice. He straight up murdered that broom. Second tweet. Pretty quick karma though. That's right. Drown in your guilt. Jeff, I think what Sorcerer's Apprentice, at least the Disney animated one, is telling us is that taking shortcuts often leads to more work.
Yes.
I think that's what it's saying.
You know what? And I think that's a good takeaway. That's our takeaway from this movie.
That is the lesson here, folks. That's all I got, Jeff.
Well,
that is all I got.
That's all I have as well. So with that, TC. You know what? Let's mention next week's movie. Yes. I almost forgot that. What is it? All right. So next week we are hitting our second of our trifecta of films from the year 2000 on this list. Number 39, we are only 2 movies away from the end of this 10-film series. Number 39 is Dinosaur. And not that fun little television show from the early 90s. Not the mama. But the singular CG animated film, which actually I believe will be our first full CG animated film on this list.
Maybe.
Like full CG? Maybe. But yes, I've never seen Dinosaur. This one, I remember it coming out, and I had no interest in seeing it.
Well, I look forward to having a conversation with you and hearing the comments from our listeners about Dinosaur, but in particular about Fantasia 2000, as we've just discussed it here. But, Jeff, I think we did it.
TC, we did it.
Another one in the bank.
Another long one, too. Holy cow.
This one was off the rails. I take full responsibility for the ridiculousness of this episode today. It is all my fault.
Just for the record, everybody, our episode is longer than the movie we talked about was.
Than the movie. Yeah, I just looked at the timestamp.
Recited the movie note for note, and it would have been shorter than this episode.
So this is what I want you to do. Everyone. I want you to play this while watching Fantasia 2000.
It was pretty much a commentary track, right? Just an extended one of those commentary tracks that it's like, well, when do I start it? All right, well, they're still talking. The movie's been done with for 10 minutes, so what do I do?
Yeah. Just start it over right now.
It's like
go back and watch Rhapsody in Blue. We got another 12 minutes. Here we go.
It's like Pink Floyd's The Wall with The Wizard of Oz. You just keep looping the movie or the soundtrack, whatever's shorter.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, Jeff, thank you.
Thank you, TC, for being here, and we'll be back. So next week, just to give everybody a heads up for when we're recording this, next week is Christmas. I'm assuming we're not gonna miss our schedule, but we just have to figure out what schedules are gonna be, because when we normally record this, it kind of falls on the holidays, and I'm gonna be gone for a little bit of the holidays. But we'll definitely try to still get the episode out at least some point next week, unless something too major happens. We'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know. So
yeah, cool.
But,
all right, so
TC.
with that said, this was a podcast, and we were the people who were talking extensively.
Yeah.
And this right here, this is a sign off.
Yeah, it is, buddy. Not the mama. You know,
was that the United themes? You were gonna say something.
No, that's
but
good
I
enough
think
of an
that might be
ending.
our
No
end.
worries. This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.